Thanks again.
Another Technicolor movie,
Mm.
which in some ways I feel like you could call the most Technicolor movie,
It kind of is, yeah.
is The Red Shoes.
Definitely a very famous Technicolor movie
Yeah, I think
as far
my
as Technicolor
Technicolor
goes.
I think my Technicolor book actually has The Red Shoes on the cover.
Right,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Another
Powell and
Powell
Pressburger,
Pressburger joint.
Lords of Technicolor.
Yeah.
I just want a filter that I can put on things that makes it look like a Powell and Pressburger movie.
Don't we all?
Maybe that's like AI taking the jobs of color timers or whatever, but color
You don't want a filter, you want a lookup table is what you want.
is that what it's short for? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Red Shoes is a movie about a woman who becomes who's ambitiously trying to get into the high tier ballet world. She meets someone who runs an opera company who is kind of brutal and possessive in certain ways, but he's a true
Boris
artist,
Lemontov,
Lemontov, and she and another kind of prodigy come together to create the Red Shoes.
which is a real ballet. They come together to put on this big production of the Red Shoes.
Yeah, and it goes very very well, but then things start kind of falling apart because this guy is a monster to work underneath, and he's also, like I was saying, very possessive, and so when the two of them fall in love, he destroys everything and would rather tank the relationship that he has with both of them in order to not have any kind of threat to his, he said, None of this adolescent stuff. I want
Yeah, he's like,
pure dance. You could be one
"Love,
of the
bah!
greatest dancers."
Dance
uh
is all I care about."
and and then there's this kind of tearing that happens of, do we start out on our own and be our own thing, and that doesn't really work out, but bad things happen.
Hmm. Mirroring the ballet in many ways,
Indeed, it's a bit
which
of a
is sort of
Hamlet situation.
about a sort of cursed pair of red dancing shoes that force you to dance until death.
And yes, and so spoilies, this movie ends in death. It is the way that the meta production of the Red Shoes, she's able to become free of Vicky.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts on the Red Shoes?
Pretty good. I enjoyed it. I got to see this one in a theater, which is a rare treat. Never seen it before that, and the only Powell Pressburger movie that I've seen in a theater, which is pretty cool. I also got to see, before I even saw the movie, I had seen the actual titular Red Shoes at the Academy Museum.
Ah,
They had a whole exhibit about not just Technicolor, but just color in general in movies.
they have
Um,
multiple red shoes on multiple distinct red shoes on display at that museum, right? Because they also have the ruby slippers.
right, yeah, red shoes are a big thing in early Technicolor films. I mean, they look great in Technicolor, so why not?
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's kind of the most notable maybe thing about this movie is just its use of color, and it's sort of it's just vivid costumes and sets and color palette. I
yeah,
mean, it's like we're saying, it's like this showbiz drama, but it is kind of centered around this like 20-minute section in, like, right in the middle, which is just the ballet, the Red Shoes. And
yeah,
it's like it
and
completely
it's
abandons all sense
gorgeous.
of reality. It becomes this surrealist, expressionistic, silent ballet film for 20 minutes. And it's, oh, like the Showbiz movie is like a good movie. You're like, great, drama, high stakes,
Yeah,
love it. But
yeah.
the ballet section in the middle is like transcendently good.
It's hard to come down from that high in a way
Right. You're
because
like, oh, now we have to go back to like a movie about people, like real people.
yeah.
Boring.
Yeah, it's like it's getting at the kind of unreality of a Busby Berkeley type thing, or I rewatched La La Land recently, and I feel like it's kind of like in some of its
Yeah.
scenes where it's kind of leaving reality, it's sort of evoking sort of a similar type of deal as
Very
what's
much
going on
so.
here. Yeah, I love movies that like leave physical space.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, whether it's 2001 or the end of Evangelion or The Red Shoes or La La Land.
I feel like this movie, like, it did remind me of Busby Berkeley in its just its scope and its like just the amount of kind of spectacle of it. But I think it goes much further than Busby Berkeley or probably La La Land, which I think La La Land is pretty directly inspired by this movie. It's like it's way more impressionistic, I think, than either
Hmm.
of those. It feels really the thing that reminded me the most of is like silent movies. It's like got real kind of Caligari vibes at times.
You're talking about particularly during the opera scene though, or the
Yeah,
ballet
yeah,
scene. Yeah.
yeah. And it's just just the sets in that, and it goes into just like you start to even lose sense of like what is a set and what is like VFX,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like it gets so kind of abstract. It's wonderful.
Shots kind of morphing into each other, like as an element kind of comes into frame, I guess. Very cool stuff.
Yeah, it really does feel like a kind of like a blending of like filmmaking and ballet or dance. Like it's kind of pulling all of it together into this thing that is really it simultaneously feels like it is sort of like going back and pulling from a lot of silent movie techniques, and it also feels like this kind of new thing that hasn't really been done to this extent.
Yeah, man, I wish I just rewatched um just the dance scene again, cuz I want to watch it again anyway, but I have a difficult time with dance sometimes, because it is really abstract, right? Like
Mm.
it's hard to pull a narrative out of dance. It's hard to pull meaning out of dance. And like what any individual moment of human movement is kind of hard to define. Or it's the way that you appreciate it is non-literal. The way that you appreciate it is like in feeling. and
Mhm.
and so I feel like there are aspects of what this movie is doing, maybe a la Fantasia in certain ways, is it's trying
Yeah.
to like use color and cinematic techniques to mirror slash emphasize the sort of abstract beauty of dance.
Mm. I think the intent of this sort of like very abstract way of shooting the dance sequence is to kind of put you in the brain of the dancers a bit, and it's sort of like
Hmm.
this is what it feels like to be dancing, as opposed to like this is what it actually looks like,
Mm.
which is very cool, and I think is a great just like a good use of film as an artistic medium. I think not to get too like hoity-toity about it, but it does feel like it's sort of like it's using it's using all of the tools at hand in really smart, creative ways.
Yeah, very cool sequence. I'm glad that I have it on. It's one of my few 4K Blu-rays.
Mm.
And when I saw that go on the Criterion sale, I was like, it's hard to think of a movie that justifies a 4K more than The Red Shoes.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think it's been like restored fairly recently, right? To like its full grandeur, right? I guess
I
if
don't
they
know
put out a
when the
4K
restoration
disc of it,
happened.
then it means like it has been
You should hope
properly
so.
scanned and
Yeah.
such. I mean, I saw it in a theater and it looked phenomenal, and that was like, you know, on a very big screen.
The first time that I saw this was at the Nitrate Picture Show. So I saw this on
Oh,
film, on nitrate film.
damn.
And yes, very, very
Having never
cool.
seen a nitrate film, I mean, I don't know if that is necessarily any better, but I've been told that it is, so I'm gonna assume that that's correct.
I think people wanna believe that it is. Maybe somebody can prove me wrong, but, like, everyone says, like, most nitrate films, because it's pre-1953, are black and white, and so the thing that people say about nitrate is that it's the silvers are more silvery, like, it glistens in a different way, and I don't know if I could necessarily determine that to be the case, but, because the crystals and silver on the print on the emulsion are the same. It's just a different plastic. But
Mm.
maybe, I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of cool anyway to just see a film that could catch on fire.
Yeah. Oh, a little element of danger in there.
Yeah. Anything about the outer kind of melodrama of this?
I mean, the melodrama feels pretty um not standard, but it has a lot of kind of like showbiz movie tropes, I guess. It is
Yeah.
about sort of like the push and pull between like personal happiness and kind of professional success or artistic success.
Yeah.
Um
Sacrificing yourself for your passion, for your art.
yeah. Apparently I think it was Powell who said that this movie is about like art that is worth dying for, that is
Mm.
like explicitly kind of what it's about, which I don't necessarily know if I agree with, but in a very sort of melodramatic way, I like how this movie is sort of like it is taking, I think, a lot of common things that artists struggle with and blowing them up to just like incredibly massive stakes and scale. And apparently, it is not necessarily reflective of what like ballet is like.
I don't know, man. There's enough of these movies like Whiplash and Tar and this that like make me think
Black
that
Swan,
Black Swan,
another movie that I think is very directly inspired by this movie.
to the extent that it's not to in all of the ways that it's not inspired by Perfect Blue,
Right.
it is inspired by this
Besides
movie.
Perfect Blue, this is the movie that it's pulling the most from. Down to, I mean, this movie has Swan Lake in it, so
Yeah.
and it does the same thing with the like the pirouetting whip pan point of view thing, where like as someone's
Mm.
pirouetting, the camera's like whipping to their point of view as they stop in this the dance spin. It's a hard thing to describe.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
know.
that's like that's a camera thing that Black Swan is. I I have to imagine pulling directly from this because it's like the exact same camera move
Right. Yeah.
in the exact same context.
POV, you're a ballet dancer. There's so much texture in this movie.
Mm,
Even outside of the context of just the dance scene, like the walls, the wallpaper, like
yeah,
the paint on the banisters, like everything has this kind of ombre to it, you know? This like
it has a
grady
what?
an ombre, it's like a gradient. Um
Okay, I guess I've
uh
never heard ombre used in that
not
context.
ombre like
Not the
like
Spanish ombre.
yeah, or who's this hermano guy? um but it like nothing is like a pure color. It's like almost just this like coffee stain kind of like a beautiful version of a coffee stain like on the entire
Hmm.
frame.
Hmm.
Uh everything is just flowing from one color to the next and it's like a really really pretty thing going on, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, this movie shot by Jack Cardiff once again, who also did Black Narcissus
Hmm.
last year. One thing I did kind of appreciate about this movie is that right, it sets up this sort of not really love triangle between the three lead characters, but this sort of triangle of like attention
Yeah.
uh and I like how it's never treated as a like romantic love triangle. Like two of the characters are in love, but then Lermontov, the head of the ballet, is like he is very possessive and controlling of Vicky, but it's never really treated as like a romantic
I feel
relationship.
like there's like some, vague implication that he has some kind of jealousy with a romantic flair. He's also kind of gay coded at the same time.
Right, which I
And
think kind
like,
of
yeah,
leads me to adds to my sort of assumption that it is not romantic.
but yeah, he is definitely like he wants absolute control over everything in his life. And Anton Walbrook, who we also saw in
Yeah,
Colonel Blake, he's really good in this.
yeah. Playing a
S-
very
uh,
different character from the one he did in Colonel Blimp, who's like ends up kind of being a sweetie pie a little bit, like,
yeah.
and in this is like a very like cold, controlling, like imposing figure.
Yeah, I mean, Colonel Blimp was made during the war, maybe before they had discovered the full extent of uh the Nazi crimes. And it's possible that now for now and for a long time a German will never get a non-evil role.
Well, it was Austrian. It wasn't German. It's an
So
important
was
distinction.
Hitler.
Okay. Hey, you know what? You know who else was only following orders? Hitler. And also the character is Russian, I think, not German. But
Hmm.
anyway,
Anyway,
yeah, he
but
good in this.
he's
Everyone is
scary,
good here.
he's domineering, and I think that the movie kind of delivers him a shock in a way, because he has lost control of his muse in a way that he can regain and plot to regain. But then you finally see him sort of break when he has fully lost control of his muse in death, uh, and kind of reckoning with how he drove her to death.
So apparently, I was watching some of the movie with commentary earlier today to brush up because it's an old movie. The commentary is mostly like clips from different interviews they've been taking, and one of them is with Moira Shearer, who plays Vicky, who was a real ballet dancer and was cast in this movie precisely because they knew they needed an actual dancer to play the lead role because they didn't want to like switch between two different people.
Right? Yeah.
And apparently, when she was first given the script for this movie, she thought it was terrible and was like, "This, like, none of this rings as true to me." As like, this is not. This is like such an exaggerated, absurd kind of view of what like a ballet company is like. And she was basically like bullied into making the movie a little bit, where like the directors kept showing up, just like showing up at the ballet company until finally her boss was just like, "Can you make the movie so that they'll go away?" But he's very good in the movie, and for I think for someone who I don't know how much like dramatic sort of acting experience she had before this, does really well in the sort of the more dramatic scenes that aren't as dance heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. She doesn't kind of read as an amateur necessarily.
Big red hair, which I feel like is a Powell Pressburger thing. They love a
Technicolor
redhead.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Great hair in this movie all around, I feel like. I don't know, maybe that's just a thing that I noticed, but I was like every scene has like great costumes, great hair.
I feel
Um
like
I don't know why that stood out to
composer,
me in this so much, but
Julian Craster, his hair seems like maybe in your style area.
maybe, yeah. Apparently he naturally was also a redhead and they were like, "You need a different hair color because we can't have like similar hair colors in this movie. Everyone needs to have a really distinct hair color," which is smart, I think. To like, you can't have you can't have two of your main characters have the same hair color. That would be absurd.
I mean, I guess red hair does very notably draw attention to itself. Even today, in our times when we've come so far, I don't think that I don't think that you could have a movie with two incidental redheads in it.
Yeah, unless they're members of the Weasley family, you can't have more
Yes,
than one redhead in a movie.
it's union rules.
Exactly.
The redheads union.
Yeah, the redheaded league, I think is what it's called.
Ah, yes.
I think that I do kind of enjoy. I don't know how reflective of like of the times this was, but like this movie opens with a bunch of like music students who are like excitedly going to the new ballet that's opening. I like the idea of just like all of these like ballet nerds who are like, "Oh
Yeah.
man, I cannot," and they're all in like, but they're all in like suits and smoking pipes and stuff. And I feel like that's just such a great like 40s like image of Right.
British too. Yeah.
Yes, very British, as with all of the Powell Priceberger movies, I guess. Yeah, I don't know if I have any, like, big takes on it. It's mostly
Yeah.
just, like
It's
I mean,
very
my big take is, like, the dance scene is far and away the best part, and the rest of it is, like, also good, but, like, come on.
yeah. It's good. It's not great, but then there's a transcendent 20 minutes in the middle,
Right.
which
It's
is
so good.